Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is Eisenherz and today I just need to vent a little. Recently I experienced a bunch of fairly toxic situations that I think need to be addressed. So if you want to listen to my personal rant, keep watching. Threat assessment and politics are an integral and crucial part of playing cEDH and especially playing cEDH successfully. However, in my opinion, there is a huge difference between making deals, willingly giving away information or openly communicating your thought process, and straight up gaslighting. If you are in a good position and it's apparent by either your board state, hand size or previous game actions, continuously and obtrusively deflecting the attention towards another player is just incredibly cringeworthy, especially in non-tournament games and against highly skilled opponents. Who do you think you are fooling? That's just politics on the lowest level, and while it might find success here and there or against players with bad threat assessment, it is not something you should try to build on as a basis of your politicking skills. You will not be successful with this kind of strategy against skillful and knowledgeable players, and you will get the reputation of a gaslighter that no one will trust, and you will make everyone cringe when you go, "I can't do anything, my hand is shit, blah blah blah," just to untap and present a win immediately after making those statements. I've seen successful tournament players try this crap in tournament prep games against the most skilled opponents. I've even seen content creators who have a high status in the community do this shit in tournaments way too often, which is double cringeworthy because they abuse their status to gaslight less skilled players and they don't do justice to their exemplary function as knowledgeable players. Get real, be better than that, and put some damn effort into your politics. When I say you should put some effort into your politics, I specifically don't mean to politic about every damn game action. There is nuance to politics. Sometimes not saying a word is the right call, and sometimes talking is the right call. It is definitely never the right call to never politic, and is also never the right call to always politic. Too often do I see people that try to turn every game action they or an opponent takes into a discussion about the current threat level of each player, or try to staple a free Gitaxian probe onto each counterspell they cast. While I get the intent of making every game action as impactful as possible and gaining as much information as possible to win the game, the result of this kind of pestering politics is mostly that people won't want to engage with you anymore. Again, nuance is the name of the game. Politicking is playing the players as much as playing the cards. But if your opponents are sick and tired of you talking, they won't listen to you anymore even when you actually have something important to say. The same is true the other way around. If you never communicate anything, you will fall short to those who actively use politics in their favor and learn to master this part of the game. This ties into a term I've heard a lot recently and that I've come to somewhat hate. Just cast your spells. What the fuck you mean? I'm not allowed to communicate with the pod anymore because you tell me to? Please, shut your mouth and go play a 1v1 if you don't like using the social aspect of this format. And it's not just that. Saying just cast your spells also puts pressures onto inexperienced players, mostly so that the person saying it gains an advantage or doesn't lose an already existing one. And making that statement thereby in and of itself is a form of politicking. A very cringe one, that is. So don't let anyone pressure you into not politicking, but make sure that you do not overdo it. It is a skill. It takes practice and there is nuance to it. You need to read the board state as much as you need to read your opponents. And if a person is not at all down to communicate anything with you, focus your game onto another player. It's natural that sometimes your opponents don't do what you expect them to do and the game doesn't go in your favor. Sometimes people take game actions you don't agree with. Sometimes you take an aggressive game action and someone disrupts it, although there isn't known information about another player being ready to present a win. Yada yada. Well, bad for you. But never ever 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 should you react to those situations by whining about them. Presenting a game-winning line when your opponent just set up a win just to eat a counterspell is no reason to whine. You forced that situation to happen by being too aggressive. You could have just as easily taken a responsible game action or communicated your thought process. Going, well okay then, now you basically kingmate them, good luck dealing with their win attempt, is not a way you should present yourself after someone stopped your aggressive game action. Whenever something like this happens, keep in mind that you usually don't have all the information you need to assess the game state from your opponent's point of view. And you can always have a post-game talk to understand your opponent's game actions and possibly even give them some tips for future games. Whining during a game or straight up gaslighting someone is just cringe as hell, and not a way you should present yourself if you want to be taken seriously as a player and a person. This is pretty straightforward. Deals are part of politics. They can't be enforced by judges, but if you don't hold up a deal in order to gain an advantage or win the game, you're not the better player, you're straight up just the worst person. People should and will stop playing against you because you are not trustworthy and you are quite literally selling out your personal integrity for a win. So when you think about breaking a deal in the future, make sure to check for yourself if your integrity as a player and a person in general weighs higher than winning a game. So bottom line, for your own sanity and for the health of this community, if you encounter toxic behavior, call it out and take consequences. Kick people, ban people, block people if their behavior becomes obnoxious and they are unwilling to better themselves. It will lead to everyone having a better experience and becoming better players. And to all of those saying that this is just a part of the game, I think your views are antiquated and you're a pushover. We as the community can shape the community. We don't need to accept everything. We can set up rules for how we want this community to work. And if we don't, we will have to accept that toxic people will shape it. So you decide for yourself if you want to play in a toxic environment or in a healthy one. And that's it for today. Rant over. What do you think about all of this? Please let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, if you enjoy my content and want to support me, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, hop over to my Discord server and consider becoming a patron. I have different tiers set up and I also provide one-on-one coaching for those of you that want to bring their paladin to the next level without being toxic. This is Eisenherz and auf Wiedersehen.